So, a few days ago I ran a backyard ultra. I managed to do 9 loops, which is about 38.4 miles-ish. Here's a montage of how it went. So, a backyard ultra is a race where competitors must consecutively run a 4.167 mile loop in under 1 hour. Every hour, a new lap begins, and the race is over when only one runner remains to complete a lap on their own. All other runners are technically a DNF. This race was the Devon and Cornwall Backyard Ultra, organised in aid of Bowel Cancer West. The first loop began at 9 AM, but I was there about an hour and a half before the start, to set up a small base camp I could rest at in between loops. My dad came along to be my crew, and he also decided to run the first loop with me for fun. On the first loop, I tried to hang back to assess the overall course without pushing too hard, but I found the pace nearer the back of the pack just a touch slow, and as a lot of the race was single track, it wasn't that easy to pass people. So for the next few laps, I set off close to the front and ended up somewhere between the second and sixth person to finish each lap. I was running each of the first laps pretty consistently in about 40 to 45 minutes, which meant I had a good 15 minutes between finishing one lap and starting the next, where I could rest, eat, drink and change any clothes I wanted. My overall plan was to not take water out with me on every single lap, but to drink lots in my rests between each one, and to also consume as much calories in the form of real food as I could stomach. I brought a large selection of foods and gels with me, but I didn't have an overall nutrition plan for the day. We've been having a bit of a heat wave in the UK recently, like most of the planet, which meant it was hotter than I was anticipating, and I was sweating quite a large amount. After the 6th or 7th lap, I began cramping in both my quads and hamstrings while I was resting. It wasn't so bad when I was running, but the moment I stopped or bent down to grab my food, I would instantly cramp up. It was about this time I was also starting to feel a little nauseous. It was getting harder and harder to continue through the cramping on lap 8, and I really began to struggle on lap 9, having to walk quite a large amount of it. I finished lap 9, which ended up being my last one, after about 54 minutes. So I called it a day after running 9 laps, for a total of 37.5 miles. Or 38.65 according to my Garmin.